Everybody, struggling as before. In today's video, we're going to be doing Destiny Decoded. I know what you're thinking. What is this? What is this thing? Why are you playing Destiny, friend? You're a COD gamer. Well, with Black Ops 3 beta coming around, and with me just messing around in Destiny a lot recently and getting into the game a bit more, I decided I might as well do a in-depth review of certain weapons, armor, and characters in the game. Also, there's a lot of stuff that people don't know about it, and when I searched Destiny in-depth or Destiny anything, I found nothing, which was kind of annoying because I personally love my stats guy and I like to know my stats. So, without further ado, let's jump into today's video, which is going to be the 3 classes in Destiny. If you have played Destiny, you would know that there are 3 classes, and each one says that they have a certain buff. The buffs are simply Titan is damage resist. Titan is how much damage you can take and deal. Warlock is, I believe, is like how you get more buffs, and Hunter is speed. That's it. To put that into perspective. However, there are a lot of things that that'll go into these classes that we are going to be reviewing in today's video. Let's start off with the Hunter, mainly due to the fact I am a Hunter and I know how the Hunter works. The Hunter's melee is the fastest recovering and the fastest going. There are melee speeds for each different character. Example, the Titans is the slowest, and I think recovers the slowest as well, if I'm not mistaken. But in turn, it does have quite the punch. It has the highest one-shot kill ability and deals the most damage. The Warlocks have the most range, and I think they have a decent recovery time. But in turn, they do their melee melee has like decent damage and stuff. They kind of got like the middle of the melee. Hunters, their weapon takes on normally two knives, and they have the most they have the fastest going to the person, and I think the best lunge time, because when you punch someone with the Warlock's insane range, it does take a bit. With the Hunter, you lunge at them and you actually get them. Now that we went over some basic melee stuff, I'm going to tell you what each class is proficient in. Let's start off with the Hunter. Again, I like the Hunter. I've played with it. I know what it is. The Hunter is the fastest of the characters. As stated before, he has the fastest sprint time, fastest sprint duration. Has, I believe, a faster recover time when swapping things. Can get better swap on guns and other things. The only bad thing about the Hunter is he has lower defense than the Titan and the Warlock, which kind of sucks because you can't take as many bullets. But in turn, you are a lot faster, and you do have quite a fast lunge and attack, so you can get from point A to point B insanely fast, which is very, very good. The Titan is the most damage resistant, having a base damage resistance of I think 15% to all damage. You can stack armor on top of this in PvE to make it 40%, I believe. Not 100% sure on those numbers. I believe that's around the numbers though. So essentially, Titans in PvE, not PvP, that's player versus environment. Titans are the best choice because they take little to no damage, while in PvP it's a completely different thing. We're not reviewing that, we're just reviewing the buff. But Titans can take the most damage. Pretty self-explanatory there. They can take the most damage and they can also deal a lot of damage. I think they are higher. Their damage is very high, but I think the Warlocks deal slightly more. Not 100% sure on this. I'm pretty sure damage is pretty straightforward for all characters. It depends on guns and stuff like that. The Hunters don't jump quite as high as this is just an add-in thing. Little fun fact, Hunters don't jump as high as other characters, but they can have more jumps than any of the characters, and the multiple jumps actually go higher. Now that we just quickly got that little fact out of the way, Titans also have the strongest melee and the most damage resistance of all the characters. To all damage, this is not just bullets or anything. This is all damage. They have the highest one. That's why they take a lot of shots to kill. They've also got, in my opinion, the cheapest of moves and require not the most skill to play. Some of the variations, example the Defender and stuff, which we'll get into in another video when we review subclasses, do take quite a bit of skill to use, and they do require a bit of tactics. But the base, I believe the Striker, I believe it's called, or me, I believe, I'm not 100% sure on its name, the base one with the Fist of Havoc, or Fist of Panic, depending on what you call it, it's not that hard to run with. Now, with that said, we're going to go over the Warlock. Now, the Warlock's a bit more complicated because it doesn't have straight stat buffs like speed or something, but instead it has buffs to your toughness, to your armor, agility, and I believe what's the last one is recovery. The While the hunters have the fastest speed and recovery time, the warlocks do have a slight buff to it. Normally, their recovery time is slightly higher than the average than a titan, which is interesting. I believe they do not have fast weapon recovery time, but they do have faster health recovery than the hunters. Their armor is slightly higher to start off with, and I believe their agility. These are all just, it's a slight increment increase. Warlocks also have the farthest range on their freaking melee. They have a decent delay between when you click it and how you go, compared to the Titan, which can take a bit. The Titan is a bit weirder around it, but does do a lot more damage. Their range is absolutely insane. It's the highest range of anything I've ever seen. It's like, I think a good, like, 8, maybe 9, maybe even 10 meters. That's how insane the melee is. Actually, I'm gonna scale that down to about 5, maybe 6, 7 meters, which is still quite insane. I don't know the exact measurements because there are no stats for this goddamn game when it comes to characters, which kinda sucks. I Google it and nothing came up, but I did hand testing and I looked around for hours and I got some stuff. So yay! Now we got facts, which is pretty cool. Now that we went over the Warlock, he has slight increments to the base, and I believe Warlocks are the strongest at their special abilities. While you do have the Blade Dancer, the Golden Gun, the Fist of Havoc, and the Bubble, the Warlocks take more of a ranged approach, and they just shoot giant balls of stuff that kill everything and are great for taking out objectives. Yeah, Warlocks are pretty good for PvP. PvE, I would probably say not so much. Anyway, now that we reviewed the Warlock, the Titan, and the Hunter, I'm going to tell you what they all excel at. The Hunter is the best at getting from point A to point B, being fast and mobile, and moving around. You don't want to sit down when you're a Hunter unless you truly want to just be an accurate sniper, which can work too. But I do recommend that you try to keep moving as a Hunter because you move it quite fast as a Hunter. As a Titan, Titans are more for the rushing type of player. If you prefer to get close and personal and have a lot of health to back yourself up, definitely pick the Titan. The Titan has a lot of defense and can take a lot of more bullets than the average person. If you want to be a PvP destroyer and have quite a few buffs on you to begin with, and a couple other hidden things that I haven't figured out yet or have seen, but I've heard from other people that are there, then pick the Warlock, because the Warlock is probably the most, it's the easiest one to use in PvP, but a bit harder to use in PvE because it requires a bit more skill. The Warlock also has a self-res skill, which is it's actually one of the most powerful skills I think I've seen in the whole game. It's powerful and it's annoying, but at the same time it's good. It's weird to explain, but it's definitely interesting. So to wrap it up, which one do I prefer personally out of all of them? I prefer the Hunter or the Titan. The Titan because it has a lot of defense, he takes a lot of bullets, it takes an hour to kill him. And the Hunter because that was my first character and I like moving fast and I like the shank of death. I really do. Because the Hunter's melee is a knife. So to wrap up today's video, which one should you use? Depends on your playstyle. As stated before, there is no real set stone. It all is playstyle based. It's not 100%. It's not a determining factor as to which one is better. As for what I think about the classes system in this game, I think it's very good, very fun, and very unique in its own way. That's all for today's video. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe for more Destiny Decoded. Next video is going to be on the subclasses, and then we're going to start moving on to weapons and armor. So, just please like it if you want to see more, and subscribe for more content. So, without further ado, bye.